As the firewood pile grows for winter, it's time to go on another scavenge. And I came out with these beautiful planks. I have a project in mind, so I did some calculations and got to it. And I get cracking to cutting everything to size. The first cuts are for the tabletop, and then I cut the wood for both ends. Next was to cut the pieces for both sides. My dwindling pile of wood. But I have all my pieces cut to start the panels for the body. And we'll start the glue up with the end pieces first. And this is the glue up of both end panels. And the glue up for the panel of the top of the table. These are the cuts for one of the sides. And this is after I cut the shape for the legs. And the next morning we have the freshly made panels of the top of the table and the two ends. And then it's time to cut the leg shapes into the end panels. And this is what they look like after that. And this is the top and end panels after some hardcore labor, hand planing, sanding 40-80 and 120 grit. And then I had to do some strategizing and get really creative with the glue up of the two sides. And with the side panels glued and cleaned up, it's time to cut holes with the drawers. Here I'm testing out on one of the end panels a new wood stain that I got for this project. And the result is perfect, rustic look that brings out every single detail and imperfection in the wood. Which left me with enough time during the day to put all the panels together and create the body and stick on the tabletop. Then I gave the whole thing its first coat of wood stain. So I couldn't get the drawers right, it's way above my experience level. So what I've done is decided to build a decking type shelf, and I just want to show you a speeded up version of what a process like this entails. First I had to take time to go and find these pallet planks, the right size that I need them for. Then dismantle each plank from the pallet and pull every single nail and piece of metal from the wood. Any metal left in these planks will cause catastrophic damage to the equipment I want to use, like the electric hand planer, so I have to take time to make sure I get everything out. Done and dusted, it's time to move on to the cutting table. And here I'm going to use the miter saw and cut them to length of the inside width of the table. Even though I've just spent a few hours pulling nails and screws and clips, I'm still turning and checking each piece of wood to make sure I haven't missed anything. All cut to size, and it's on to the next process, the electric hand planer. And so now we've gone from this to this. And now it's time for sanding. And we're doing 40, 80 and 120 grits. And starting with 40. Put my dust mask on. And onto 80 grit. $120 grit. And flip all the boards over and start the process from the beginning on the other side. With that done, it's time to add wood stain, and we are done for the day. See you tomorrow. The next morning I'll jump right into it and select a piece of wood for the cross pieces. And again we search for any hidden metal in the wood. This reclaimed wood has been through a lot, so we need to look real careful. And then cut to length again. This time I'm cutting the inside length of the table. And then onto the circular saw for a long cut, and a little bit of maths is required to work out the outside curve of the blade to my mark, to the edge of the circular saw, to the straight edge. And then back to these two guys, from hand planing and sanding, and the end result of that process. Install them into the table. And start to add the cross pieces. After a little bit of math, I can work out the size of the spaces to use between the cross panels. And then with a little bit of acrobatics, attach some screws from the bottom. A little bit of cosmetic works to the body, make some sawdust and glue. And then apply it to any oversized holes or cracks. And once it all dries, sand it all off.